ratings. I hope you guys submitted your ratings. My things, let me just refresh it. There we go. All right. Play ratings, Tottenham 2, Brighton 2. Let's start off with Anton and Kinski, 7s all round. You guys giving it a 6.9. I'm not sure why it's not showing up there. But
yeah, it's a problem. It always shows up on our one, but anyway.
Yeah, look, 7s all round from us. I think pretty faultless display. I don't think he could have done anything with the goals that we conceded. Confident from corners and crosses. I think he brings an air of kind of stability to the back line as well, a bit of confidence about his play. His ball playing ability is top notch. And I love that bit of play where he comes rushing out and does the sweep keeper job down to a T. So, yeah, another faultless display for me.
And I'm happy for him because after that game against Atletico, he's responded really well. Good performance against Sunderland, another good performance here. I do like how confident he is. He has no problem coming out, claiming crosses, coming for things in corners. I do like that. I do like his ability with the ball at his feet. I think he's super confident. I feel so much more assured when he's got the ball at his feet compared to Vicario. So that's really good. In terms of shot stopping, I actually think, what was it? Just a Welbeck shot.
Yeah, he didn't have much.
Yeah, I think he just made one save, which I think was an easy save. I don't think he had too much to do other than that. Couldn't do anything with the goals, could he? So fair play to him.
Next up is Pedro Porro. I gave him a 7. You gave him an 8. 7.2 from you guys in the live chat. Obviously scored the goal, which was brilliant. Put himself in a great position just ahead of Verbruggen. Think that over him was a lovely finish. Could have made it 2-0 just after that as well. After the Xavi obviously missed and hit the post, and he fired it over the bar. Well, it was a great save actually from the keeper, wasn't it? Because we got a corner off the back of it.
Yeah, he did. Brilliant. Tipped it over.
So potentially could have had his second goal. I think he just showed great energy throughout, Pedro Porro. He looked like a real leader, showing great mentality on the pitch. I felt like for the first goal, he kind of just went missing a bit at the back post. It's a great finish from Mitoma, but Pedro should have been there. But I just marked him down just for the goal that we conceded, just because I was just so frustrated at the time. But I did think he put in a very good display, Pedro Porro, yesterday, and he just showed like he wanted it.
Yeah, I think Porro, good performance from him. I think he was one of our better players on the day. On the ball, I think he's such a deserving player. Like, he's the one who can get the team like kind of ticking.
He was a constant threat, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like a good threat, but I think in possession and build-up, little 1-2s, really good, clever passes, accurate passes was really good. Really brave header as well. Good to get in that position. I actually think defensively, by and large, was good. There was some times where I think Minter was causing him trouble. I thought he dealt with Mitoma really well. As you say, the goal was a bit frustrating. I watched it again. And he was tucked in because he was thinking about Welbeck. It was an interesting one. You had Danso, Van de Ven and Porro up against Welbeck and Mitoma, and another one at the back post. And Van de Ven kind of was marking no one. Danso then goes on to Welbeck, and then Porro comes over to someone else, which left Mitoma completely free. I don't know if it's Porro's fault specifically, because if he left his man, he would have been free. So I think he had kind of had two men, which is, look, I remember having this problem under Ange. Like, we had like so many men free at the back post, and then we kept blaming the fullback, but there was just so many players free. But at the end of the day, I put it more down to a Weldy than bad defending. It was just like, you don't really expect him to finish it from that angle on the volley like that. So sometimes you just got to credit the opposition. But I think by and large, he had a pretty good game. I was pretty happy with Porro.
Next up is Kevin Danso. 5s all round for Danso. 5.1 from you in the live chat. I felt for Danso because I thought he had a really good game throughout from pure defending point of view. I thought it was so many times where he put himself in dangerous positions and came out on top more times than not. On the ball, you get what you get from Kevin Danso, and I think it was erratic. And even when it did go to a Spurs player, it felt like it was overhit at times, and sometimes the Spurs player had to stretch to get there or whatever. It wasn't great on the ball, but at the end of the day, he gets marked down massively for the mistake right at the end, and it was a gut-wrenching, painful mistake where it's so avoidable. Just get the ball clear, just hoof it, just put it anywhere, but do anything but what you did, basically. And it was his fault why we conceded that goal. And it's really hard to take. And I like Kevin Danso, but you can't do that, man. You cannot do that. It's ridiculous.
I think for me, he was good yesterday at what he is good at, and he wasn't so good at what he's not good at. I think it was pretty much the quintessential Danso kind of performance. I thought putting his body on the line, 10 out of 10. Getting your header on crosses, 10 out of 10. But then when he's asked to like make a tackle in open play, he was struggling. When he was asked to pass the ball out of the back, he was struggling. When he was asked to show a bit of composure, he was struggling. I actually did think, I know it's harsh, I did think of the defence, he was probably the weak link, even before the mistake right at the end. I felt like they were targeting him a bit and they were getting a bit of joy out of Danso more than anyone. But fair play to him. I think there was some moments where we were under pressure and he was really digging in deep for the team and putting his body on the line, and that really did help. So fair play. But I think at the end of the day, it did cost us, and that goal right at the end is just such a bad mistake. It really is. At the time as well, you just got to clear your lines. You got to be safe there. You can't allow Van Hecke to get the ball there. And then not only did he allow Van Hecke to get the ball, but he allows him to. He turns on him. He allows Van Hecke to turn on you and get the cutback as well. And that leaves him out of position because he just lost the ball. It was such a catastrophic error. I do feel for him because he's one of the guys who just puts his all in. And but at the end of the day, I don't think he had a bad game. I think he was good. It was a good for him, but I did feel like he was the weak link in the defence.
Next up, Mickey van der Ven. 7s all round for us for Mickey. 6.5 from you guys. And I said before the game, there was a different look and different... there was just something different about Mickey van der Ven even before kickoff yesterday. He had the captain's armband on, and he definitely acted like it. You saw leadership ability on the pitch yesterday. I thought he defended really well, using the ball a lot better than what we've seen, for the last few months, really. And he had his best display in a Spurs shirt than we've seen for quite some time now for Mickey. So hopefully this is a more sign of things to come, because we're going to need that kind of leadership in the back line without Romero for the rest of the season. But a step in the right direction for Mickey. Yeah,
I thought he was a really good performance, really strong. What I liked about him is on the ground, taking no prisoners. Like any time any player comes towards him, he was winning that ball. He was being really, really strong. And I thought he was so confident on the ball, a lot better with his passing as well. I thought defensively did very little wrong. So, and also that miracle clearance on the line that hit his own post. I don't know how we did it, but absolutely phenomenal from him.
Nearly an own goal, but we call it a miracle clearance.
Well, you know what? He risked scoring an own goal to stop Welbeck having a tap in. That's the truth. I thought really good from him. Really good.
Next up is Destiny Udogi. 7s all round for Dest. 6.2 from you guys. I thought Destiny had a different energy about him yesterday as well. You know, maybe it's just him getting more match fitness in him and getting better with more games behind him. But he definitely was stretching the play a lot more. He was definitely a lot more aggressive. He was contributing to attacks. He was very strong in defence. I think the amount of tackles and duels he was winning was top notch. So yeah, again, Destiny's one of Destiny's best displays in a while.
Yeah, I did think he started to struggle late in the game, and that's why he went off injured. Well, not injured, but he was strapped with an ice pack on his thigh. So let's hope it's nothing serious. But I thought in the first half he was really providing that width, which allowed kind of Xavi to cut inside, and he was getting to the byline. I thought he should have had a penalty in that first half. I thought he should have penalty. I think he was bundled over, and I think the referee just got that wrong. That was really frustrating. But yeah, I thought he was a threat. He was defensively as well. I thought he was defending pretty. Actually, I thought when Minte moved over, he was struggling a bit more. But when it was just Gomez, he was doing fine. I think by and large he was quite good defensively. I don't have too many complaints for him. There was one moment there, wasn't it? I think the ball gets played over the top and he just allowed it to bounce, allowed Minte to steal the ball off him, and luckily nothing came of it. But I thought he was pretty good for most of the time he was on the pitch.
Next up is Conor Gallagher. Sim gives him a 6. I gave him a 7. You guys have given him a 6.3. I was really happy. Oh, Burnley have scored! Come on! Yes!
Come on, Burnley!
Come on!
Let's go! Sorry.
Fleming. Anyway, Conor Gallagher. Sim gives him a 6. I gave him a 7. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he gave us so much in that middle of the park. Combative display, pressing, off the ball, he was phenomenal. Went on a few nice dribbles as well. I thought they was just really hard to handle, and he kept just nicking the ball back for us and helping us kind of move the ball forward. And I think Bentancur was pretty much was a lot better on the ball, but I think Conor Gallagher and Bentancur just worked really well together. So best display in a Spurs shirt for me.
Yeah, I think he worked really hard. I think he's got a lot to improve on the ball, obviously. But I think in terms of, I mean, saying a 6 out of 10 is his best display in the Spurs shirt, probably true, but that just goes to show how poor he's been. But I think he did work so hard off the ball. I think his pressing was brilliant. He was involved in the first goal, helping Solanke win the ball up high. I think the amount of interceptions, tackles he was making was really impressive. Just on the ball in the final third, when there was a few moments where they could have been decisive and he kind of made the wrong decisions, but I thought he worked very hard and he was actually quite good by and large.
Next up is Rodrigo Bentancur. 8s all round for Bentancur, 7.5 from you guys. Such a welcome return from Rodrigo Bentancur. Surprise inclusion in the starting lineup. We were saying before the game in the match preview or the predicted lineup that it's probably going to come too soon. It sounded like from what Roberto De Zerbi was saying, he was going to get 20 minutes, half an hour or something at the end. But he started the game and he just added something to the midfield which we haven't had in so long, and that's just a bit of composure, a bit of nice kind of neat play that we just haven't had for so long. The ability to keep the ball and pass the ball forward and drive the team forward, and he really was that driving force and that kind of hub of the team for us yesterday. So fantastic display, got the hour. I thought we missed him when he went off.
Definitely. I think that calmness, as you say, it just exudes through the team, that ability to pick the right option, not panic when he's on the ball. I think it was absolutely phenomenal yesterday, and there were shades of him. I mean, we've said it a number of times, but there were shades of him coming back to his best, I felt. And off the ball, I just felt like we were just like, had so much more coverage. We were like so much less open when he was on the pitch, and him and Basuma together, I felt, just patrolled that area quite nicely. I did feel, obviously, once the energy waned, that was obviously a big problem. Nothing much we can do about that. But hopefully, as the weeks go on, he can play more and more. But that was a really good first performance for me, coming back from injury, and definitely been missed. Maybe more of a miss than I anticipated.
Yeah, definitely. And it feels like he is a De Zerbi player.
Definitely.
Bentancur. Next up is Yves Bissouma. I gave him a 5. You gave him a 6. He's given a 6.5 from you guys out there. Yeah, look, I thought he started the game really well, and he was providing that really nice protection for us, and he was winning the ball back quite consistently, and again working really nicely in tandem with Bentancur and Conor Gallagher. But I felt as the game wore on and when Brighton started to put some pressure on us, I thought he kind of wilted under that pressure a little bit, and when Brighton put pressure on him, he seemingly lost the ball in some really bad positions, which could have ended up pretty bad for us, which luckily it didn't. Got that booking, and I felt at half-time he probably should have come off, because there were a number of times after that booking he went on in a couple of challenges. Didn't give the foul away, but very easily could have, and maybe he was on a thin rope to a red card. Got taken off quite early in the second half, which I thought was the right decision. And yeah, I felt after the 20 minutes he was just weaning out of the game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was good to have him in the team. I think him and Bentancur together had a good kind of control over that centre mid. I have to say that for the goal that they scored, I think he just gives Pascal Gross way too much room. I think he's trying to track runners where he doesn't stop the immediate danger of Pascal Gross on the ball, and it just allows him all the time and space to cross the ball in. That was obviously a big problem. The booking, I mean, it's a bit harsh only because he got booked for it. Yet we didn't get a penalty up the other end for exactly the same motion. So that will be frustrating. I think there was some really good stuff at the start of the game. I did think he started to struggle, but I do want to persist with him because I think we looked a lot better with him and Bentancur together. So some good stuff. Did start to struggle a bit and was rightfully taken off in the second half.
Next up is Randall Kolo Muani. 3s all round from us, 4.3 from you guys. He is just such a frustrating player to watch. Like, I don't understand, every manager's come in and giving him such significant playing time starts over someone like a Matisse Tell. And I don't know what warrants it. I genuinely don't know what he brings to the team. Like, what does he bring to the team? Every time we talk about him, we talk about him having a stinker, and then he starts the next game. It just makes no sense to me. He made no impact into our attacking play yesterday. Lost the ball more times than not. Running down blind alleys. Like, what does he actually bring to the team?
Yeah, I don't know. He's not a right winger. I don't think he likes playing right wing. I don't know why we persist. I think Tell wasn't even that great when he came on, but he did a lot more than Moani did. I think this Moani experiment needs to end. For me, I think he was our worst player quite comfortably. There was a couple of moments as well with better anticipation. He could have had a couple of chances on goal, but he didn't anticipate them well. There was a moment where I think Xavi plays a through ball to him and he just gets the ball caught under his feet and the chance ends up going awry. Yeah, just nothing. Nothing doesn't really offer anything for me.
Yeah. Next up is Dominic Solanke. I gave him a 5. You gave him a 7. Out there, you've given him a 5.8. Look, he was involved in the passages of play at the beginning for the goal and the chance that we did score and miss. But apart from that, there was a couple of moments of nice link-up play, but I felt, aerially he was getting dominated, didn't make too much of an impact in the game, not really much of a goal threat at all. I just feel Dominic Solanke, with the quality he has, needs to be doing a lot more.
It's interesting. I've seen a lot of reviews and stuff of the game, and it seems as though everyone who was at the game seems to think he played really badly, and everyone who wasn't at the game seems to think he had a pretty good game. So I wonder what that difference is and why there is a disparity there. I find that quite interesting. But I generally thought, especially in that first half, he was a complete nuisance. You say he got dominated early, but I felt whenever they went long to him, Van Hecke was really struggling to win those headers. I felt every time it was kind of...
Stats are.
No, the thing is, there was the long balls going forward, right? They were both not winning it. What was going on was Solanke was holding his strength and just preventing Van Hecke from winning the header, and it was just going over. And a couple of times, Xavi nearly got on the end of it. I don't remember that first half. Xavi nearly continued his run and nearly got through on goal, just because it wasn't Solanke winning the header. It was Solanke just preventing Van Hecke from winning it. And it happened a few times. Van Hecke was struggling with that. He then obviously set up the chance for Xavi. He pressed really well for the opening goal.
It says here that Solanke won 2 out of his 10 aerial duels, and it says Van Hecke won 5 out of his 6.
Yeah, I'm saying that there was a moment. It wasn't about winning the duels. It was about preventing Van Hecke winning them.
But it says Van Hecke won the majority.
But it wouldn't count as a duel at that point.
See.
You know what I mean? Because both of them didn't win. Yeah, I think it's obviously hard. Van Hecke's a big, tall defender, but I actually think, especially in that first half, there was a few times where Solanke was preventing Van Hecke from winning it.
I think he played a lot better when the ball was played into feet. When the ball was played into feet, he was decent.
And
but
also
when it was in the air, I thought it was poor.
There were some really good dribbling moments as well. I felt where him and Xavi were. I thought him and Xavi had a really good rapport yesterday. I thought they were linking up quite well yesterday. I was quite impressed with that. I actually think the second half it wasn't as good. It seemed to be less effective. Obviously, I think Tottenham had less of the ball for much of that second half. But I thought the first half he was giving them a really tough ride and it was really good. And if it wasn't for that Xavi misplaced Xavi hitting the post, he would have had an assist as well. I was quite happy with him personally.
Next up is Xavi Simons. I've given him a 9. You've given him an 8. Out there, you've given him an 8.2. Look, he is the money man yesterday. You know what I mean? Unbelievable assist, dink into Pedro Porro. Proper top quality in that. And the goal, even more quality in that. Like proper Sonny-esque goal yesterday. Just a shift and a shoot. Top bins from Xavi Simons. Yeah, look, there were times where he was frustrating yesterday, but this is what you get, the nature of, a top quality number 10. They're always trying things, and sometimes it's going to come off, sometimes it's not, but you end the game with 2 quality moments in the goal and an assist. Should have had the second goal just after the assist. And there was just so many times he was just getting hacked down, and no fouls being given. It was just so frustrating. I want to see the stats on actually how many times he was actually fouled yesterday, because it should have been a lot more. Where was it? So he was fouled. Where's the?
Should say.
Where's the fouled? I can't find it. Anyway, I just thought he was brilliant yesterday.
Block shots. Yeah, where it? Fouled 4 times.
4 times, and it should have been a lot more.
Yeah. Obviously, I was really impressed with Xavi. I thought he had a really strong game. It's a bit of a weird one. I thought he was good overall. He was probably the reason. He was the reason we should have won. He was also probably one of the reasons we didn't win. So it's a bit of a like mixed like game from that point of view. So I think when it comes from, if you're looking at in the context of our season, how little attacking quality we've actually had during the season, it was so nice to see just 2 moments of magic from a player producing that, and it was kind of like this was like again one of the times. We've been saying for so long, Tottenham don't have any, world-class players, world-class talent, all this kind of stuff. We don't have any, we've always had a special player, right, in the team, whether it be Son or Kane or maybe a Ginola or whatever it is, and we don't have one right now. And then when you see Xavi do some of the stuff he did yesterday, like, he could be that player if we just give him the platform. So that was so in that context, like, phenomenal. The goal he scored was outrageous. The assist as well. Nearly equally as outrageous. What a little thing that is to Porro. 2 moments of absolute world-class quality. But then he has those moments where he has to bury that chance at 1-0. That could have been the game right there. I think there was a chance in the second half where he cuts back and shoots rather than puts it across the face of goal. That should have been probably a chance there to win the game. Obviously, him going down with cramp, I know it's not obviously his fault, but that obviously cost us as well, and that's like really a frustrating thing. I'm not like marking him down for it, but it's obviously probably one of the main reasons we didn't win the game was him going down with cramp and not being able to sub him off.
He gets cramp because he runs himself into the ground.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I actually also think right at the end, after it, we didn't mention it, but at 2-2, we had a chance to win the game. I actually think he gets in Bergval's way. If you actually watch it back, Bergval has the ball. I think Danso and Solanke are completely free to the left, and Xavi takes it off Bergval and tries to do it all himself, and ends up giving it to Gray in a lot less dangerous position. And obviously, we still create a chance for it, but it ends up, with a not less.
I haven't seen that moment back, but I remember Danso being completely free on that side. Was it not Gray that could have played him in?
Well, Gray could have also had a chance, but I think it was more Bergval wins the ball brilliantly. There's then 2 players to the left. You got Gray to the right. And Xavi kind of, if I remember rightly, Xavi kind of just, Bergval's about to make his decision. And then Xavi kind of just takes control, takes it off Bergval, and then tries to, do it himself. Finds out, goes to the right where there's less space, runs out of room, then plays it to Gray. Gray then actually does well to get a opportunity to shoot. And his shot isn't good enough to score, obviously. But it was definitely, I think, Xavi kind of getting it in everyone's way. I felt Bergval, if he just had a moment to kind of assess his options and give it to the left, where there was 2 players free, Solanke and Danso, I felt like that could have been the opportunity to win the game. But I think Xavi felt like it was his day, and he kind of just, I think he got in Bergval's way personally. That was really frustrating.
All right. Now to the substitutes. Next up is João Palhinha. 5 from me, 6 from you, 5.6 from you guys. I just felt like, because he came on for Bentancur, and I just felt like we just lost so much when Bentancur went off and João Palhinha came on. He had that one chance, didn't he? He had a shot, but apart from that, I don't think he had too much of an impact. And even steal in the middle of the park, I don't think he was adding too much.
Obviously, as you say, he had that shot which nearly scored. I think he did all right. I didn't have too many complaints. Doesn't have the composure Bentancur has, put it that way. But I actually thought his passing was a bit better than he usually is. He had played this one brilliant long ball to Tell, which I think if Tell reads it better, could have been an on goal, and we just kind of didn't take full advantage of it. But I think he was all right. I didn't have too many complaints, but I definitely think we lost a bit of control when he was. Well, I say that we got a second wind when he was on because of his energy, but on the ball we lost something when he was on the pitch.
Definitely. Next up is Matisse Tell. 6 all round from us, 5.7 from you. I thought he added just the extra energy that Moani just didn't have, and I thought he had more quality than Moani, and I just feel like, look, he wasn't great, but there was a few occasions where he was able to put the Brighton defence under pressure, get the ball in the box, and that's just all you need to do to be better than Kolo Muani. So I think if Tell doesn't start over Muani against Wolves on that right-hand side, then I don't know what he's doing.
I definitely felt he looked more uncomfortable on the right than he usually does on the left. So there's that to say. There was one moment he does play a beautiful cross and no one was in the box. Like that was really frustrating. And I felt there was a couple of moments he wriggled out of a couple of situations quite impressively, but I also felt there was a bit of hesitancy with him. Like he wasn't sure whether to go to the byline or cut inside. Like usually he knows when he's on the left, he just cuts inside. Like he knows what he's doing. I felt there was a bit of uncertainty and that little bit of hesitancy kind of that stopped him from being truly dangerous. But I felt he was much more of a threat than Moani, yes, for sure.
Next up, Archie Gray. You guys, well, everyone's given him a 6. 6 is completely all round from us, you, and everyone. Yeah, there was a kind of a couple of frustrating moments in there from Archie Gray, but I think more than most, he just kept things kind of moving along and added a bit into the midfield that maybe Basuma wasn't at that moment in time. I thought he just added a bit more extra energy, but probably should have ended up with a goal, to be honest.
Yeah, good chance right at the end, wasn't it? It wasn't an easy chance, but, you know, one where he probably a bit disappointed with the effort he had. I thought he was decent, not too many complaints. I think he just replaced Basuma adequately. Wasn't maybe as good as we've seen him previously, but I thought he came on and did a decent job.
Next up is Lucas Bergvall. 7s all round for Lucas Bergvall. You guys have given him a 7.1. I mean, instant impact, Lucas Bergvall yesterday. And, you know, he got a lot of criticism for his performance at Sunderland. And he comes on with a lot of energy, nicks the ball off Van Hecker and lays it off to Xavi. And you know, Xavi did what Xavi did. So straight away, a lot of energy. And I felt throughout the game when he was on, he was just, you know, running around and winning the ball back and trying to press the team forward. I really liked Bergvall's energy when he came on.
Yeah, and obviously he won the ball right at the end for that chance as well. So he did have a really positive impact on the team. And obviously was playing a bit further forward, wasn't he, again? But I liked his energy. It wasn't like he did loads of stuff, but the stuff he did immediately did make a difference, and it was good.
And last but not least, Jed Spence. 6 from you guys, 6 from me, and a 5 from Sim. Obviously, he came on for a doggy. A doggy was flagging at the time. The doggy had to come off, so I thought it was right to bring on Spence. And I did think he added a bit more energy on the left-hand side, but yeah, that's all I've got to say on it, really. He didn't really have too many talking moments.
Yeah, I thought he was a bit frustrating at times, actually, down the left-hand side. There was a couple of times where he kind of was caught out of position, I felt, and could have done a bit better. But look, it wasn't too much. It was on for that long. So, yeah, gave him a 5.
And last but not least, Roberto De Zerbi. I'm going to give him a 7. I think he managed the game well. I think all the changes were good changes or changes that needed to happen, one or the other. I thought the starting lineup didn't have too many. The only problem I had with it at the start was maybe Conor Gallagher, but more Kolo Muani. Obviously proved wrong about Conor Gallagher. In hindsight, the only problem I have with it is Muani for Tell. But I thought, you know, he's added that extra grit to the team. I feel he's added belief to the team. He's got them fighting. He's definitely made an impact in the 2-3 weeks he's been here. So I've only got good words to say about Roberto De Zerbi.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give him a 7. I think the kind of improvements we've seen in his first 2 weeks is already quite impressive and quite big. Obviously, we haven't won, and we need to obviously get those wins on the board. But at least him being here has given us a bit of belief that we can get those wins now, at least. And that's the most important thing. We should have won the game. Very frustrating. But I think the subs he made were good. I think it was better than last game where I think we fell apart in the last half an hour, whereas in this game, I think his subs gave us a second wind, so it was a bit different. Yeah, I think he managed the game pretty well, and just there was just unfortunate things. I really think that Xavi moment, him getting cramp, really cost us, and that was obviously a big moment, and him having made 5 subs was really unfortunate. So, yeah, I don't blame him too much, but we didn't win, so give him a 7.
All right. Well, that is player ratings. Let us know your ratings in the comments section below.
Being a goal